Hi, good day to everyone. Today, I'm glad to be here to present my research title, which is called Effects of Integrating Digital Presentation Tools in Industrial Design Program for Higher Educations. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm the first author. My name is Teo Pei Kian, and second author is my colleague, Ms. Tan Su Hui. Both of us are come from Faculty of Art and Design, Southern University College in Malaysia. So now, let us start with the contents today. And first, let me introduce and brief you a bit further industrial design idea. Industrial design is a part of the innovations, and it makes its contribution through enhanced products by minor additional changes, differentiates the products with different appearance and functions, or the use of the technology in product development. So some people in the market, they call it as a product design. During the teaching and learning process, lecturers and students are expected to be the complexities of professional practice. Yet, learning of industrial design process in design education is relatively difficult and complex, especially for the first year students. And as mentioned in the studies, the previous study, learning of the industrial design process is a challenge for students to understand. However, the design process is always considered as one of the important teaching materials and presented through the traditional presentation tools that lack interaction result in a lower students' engagement. Therefore, the objective for this research are to identify an idea of digital presentation tools like Prezi, PowerPoint, and PowerPoint for the industrial design program as lecturing tools, and also to explore how processes of digital presentation tools on student engagement in the learning of the ID process. For this article, the meta-analysis combines the information from multiple associations, educators, scholars, and researchers, and increase the chance of finding valuables. And meta-analysis is a process of integrations of the results of many studies from different journals, papers, and articles into one report. In this paper, meta-analysis combine informations and the scope of analysis constitutes the study of digital presentation tools in ID program. This study acquired data from 3 topics directly related to industrial design program. These 3 topics are industrial design process, digital presentation tools, student engagement in higher education. All of these 3 topics play important roles for educators in integrating effective presentation tools to teach the ID process. From here, all of you can see that the table is about the meta-analysis. So for this meta-analysis table, you can see that the different researchers, association, and some of the experts, the statements. I just take few of the examples to show you. Like for the industrial design process, the Design Council from the UK, they stated that design process divided into 4 distinct phases: discover, define, develop, and deliver. And one of the researchers mentions about the digital presentation tools is to help the student organize their thoughts and learn the best practices. And also have few researchers, they mention about the PowerPoint can enhance the teaching sessions by allowing the lecturers to use the graphics and other multimedia way. And at the same time, also have some of the researchers, they pointed that Prezi can give the students and users for the learning opportunity to edit the slides online with their peers, like for example, the graphics and the flow of the slide. And we continue with the next meta-analysis. So from here, you also can see that some researchers, they pointed that Powtoons can display the videos with the animations, and then which is that can deliver a very good process and creative imaginations to the design students. And all of these points, right, actually is very important to the student engagement. How to enhance the level of the student engagement in higher education, especially for the industrial design students. Okay, now come to the finding and the discussions. Let us start with the industrial design process. Like what I mentioned just now, the industrial design process, we are very emphasized on 4 distinct phases: discover, define, develop, and deliver. Let me brief a bit about these 4 phases. For the discover, the process starts by questioning the challenge and quickly leads to research to identify user needs. And for the define, is the second phase, is to make sense of the findings, understanding know and how the user needs and the problem align. For the third phase is the develop. It concentrates on developing, testing, and refining multiple potential solutions. For example, the concept development of design. And the last phase is the deliver. This final phase involves selecting a single solution that works and preparing it for launch. What's the meaning of launch? Is the product launch. So the final stage of the process is designed to identify any final constraints or problems before manufacture, and is when the product or service is checked against standards and regulations and all of the compatibility testing. So all of this is considered about industrial design process. So that's we can see through these 4 phases, right? We can know that actually this process is considered complexity and complicated, and so very hard to uh, uh, get through and get clear from first year student. So that we need to use the digital presentation tools to enhance the engagement of the students. So for the digital presentation tools, the rapid technology change has influenced the ways of the lecturer teaching presentation, and students are more familiar with the use of digital tools in the classroom because nowadays is a digital era. And then I start with the Microsoft PowerPoint. For Microsoft PowerPoint, it is developed by the Microsoft. It's a computer application used for displaying specific digital content to target audiences. And according to the researcher, the use of PowerPoint for teaching display has the enormous ability for encouraging more expert shows. It can enhance the teaching sessions by allowing lecturers to use graphics and other multimedia to clarify understanding and also to support different learning styles. Then how about Prezi? Prezi is a web-based tool for creating presentations. The most unique feature is the graphic interface. So you can see that from the picture shows. The interface, you can zoom in and zoom up, which allows the user to have a more near or far visit of the presentation area. So you can adjust by your own. Okay. And then for the Prezi, it is attached great importance to the visual effects. This is the statement from researcher. Tends to attract the audience interest and present information in a less linear structure. And the previous studies, they already proved that Prezi became an extra powerful academic medium for information acquisitions. So it's useful for design process. And for the third digital presentation tool is Powtoon. For Powtoon is a web-based software that offers a big selection of media alternations, graphics, and lively snapshots to create the animated presentations that flow easily and logically. So for Powtoon, it's different with PowerPoint and Prezi. It is famous for the animation use. It integrates the different types of formats and media, and increasing the integrations capabilities of the visual, auditory, and motion resources. And few researchers, they also mentioned that it can display the videos equipped with animation that facilitates students in understanding the content delivery process so that their creative imaginations arise in capturing the lessons. For student engagement in higher education, in parallel to improve the attentions on industrial design student engagement, digital technology has emerged as a valuable element of better education, inherently affecting all factors of the student experience. Incorporating virtual technologies like digital presentation tools I mentioned just now into all of this lecture room can lead to profound advance in industrial design student engagement and learning, which can ensure the students are maintaining up with the demand of a technology-based world. So now, come to the conclusions. Based on the findings, industrial design students who attended the lecturing class with digital presentation tools, they will have higher rates of engagement if comparable with traditional presentation tools. From the studies that I mentioned just now, a significant difference was determined in the formative, summative, and delay summative evaluations of the use of PowerPoint, Prezi, and Powtoon. The result of the analysis indicated that PowerPoint attributes its instructional effectiveness on long-term learning in retentions of PID students. For the Prezi, it was more effective on visual effects and information acquisitions tends to attract the industrial design students' interest. For the Powtoon, it can display the videos equipped with animation to help the ID students' innate technology skill become known. So for this article, the objective of the research were achieved based off these findings. It is hoped that this research able to help the educators conduct the teaching and learning of industrial design process and propose a guideline for further researchers in order to improve the engagement of industrial design students in higher educations. That's all for my presentation today. Thank you for your kind attention. And then we will proceed to the actual dates of conference and see you there. Thank you very much.